everybody. Welcome to the Beaver Island Community Center. Those of you from off the island, welcome to America's Emerald Isle. Glad to have you here to celebrate the dark skies of Beaver Island. I'm Kevin Boyle, and I guess I got designated for this job because I do the radio station and some other things, and it seems impossible to make me stop talking. I'm also shorter than some of the people who are going to speak tonight, so I'm going to jerk this down a little bit. So I'm also a member of the committee that undertook to get this dark sky sanctuary designation. We didn't know it was going to be a dark sky sanctuary at the outset. We thought maybe it was going to be a dark sky park. There were lots of twists and turns along the way, and you'll hear about that from others. But now I'm going to test right now and make sure that this is actually working with that. So we're glad to have you here to celebrate the dark on Beaver Island. We've got a special evening planned for you. We've already had wonderful food from Bodega Catering. Nice little round of if you haven't already put something in the donation bucket, it would be nice to do that so we can help pay for everything we're doing this evening. We've got some really great speakers tonight, experts on the dark skies, why they're special, and why the dark skies we have on Beaver Island are so unique, and we're going to get right to that. But first, Kaylee, if you could just bring the house lights up just a little bit. I'd like everyone who was on the Dark Sky Project Committee who helped make this happen, who's out there in the audience, to please stand up and let's give them a round of applause. Before I turn this over to Cynthia, a shameless plug about the radio station. On the radio station, we have the Storyteller's Night's Guide, and we've got a special edition of the Storyteller's Night's Guide with Mary Stuart Adams to share with you this evening. And of course, we also every day have Star Day on the radio station. So if you tune in to WVBI, you get to learn more and more about the dark skies of Beaver Island. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Cynthia J.
Hi. I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I'd see during 4 years the day when Beaver Island would become an international dark sky sanctuary. But I am elated to see the night. Thank you all for coming and supporting us. Now, I grew up in the country with stars, but I never fell in love with the stars then. Nope, went to the city as fast as I could. Long Beach, Los Angeles, Cleveland, Toronto, Mexico, hitchhiked all across the country. Did not fall in love with the stars then. Nope, it was not until I saw the amazing stars on Beaver Island. Apparently you have to stand on your toes. Until I saw the stars on Beaver Island. That I began to fall in love with the stars. I stood under the comet Neowise with William Markey. This is a really touchy microphone. And Bill talked a lot about the stars and the planets, about Dickie McAvoy and Billy McDonough, who had tried to get the little same day to be a dark sky place, and that we should preserve it. And that's when I fell in love with the stars. Looking at the stars, seeing them every night. And that's when some strange astronomer showed up with big telescopes. And he taught me some incredible things in the dark that I'd never even thought of. Oh my gosh. So, excuse me about the galaxies and nebulae and the cosmos. And the fact that we're only now just seeing those things like that. People are naughty. And that is how we started to build the sanctuary. As we stood there night after night, and there was one of us or two of us, and three of us, we talked about how we needed to protect this precious dark sky above us. And then others came and saw. and they were struck with awe and agreed, we need to protect these skies. Now the rest, and some of you are here tonight, thank you. It was great to not see you in the dark, had no clue who you were. The rest of that story has been documented and told and recorded, so I won't go into the fine details, but I would like to share a quick and true, short, and tragic tale to illustrate what makes this evening's dedication so special and means so much to me and the others that brought this event from a dream to a reality. Most everyone that lives here or summers here and vacations here is well aware of the beauty of the island's dark skies. Yeah, it's dark sky and that's like it in the dark. You really have to. But I do need to see. Everybody knows. They're well aware of that. I think we sometimes take it for granted and do not grasp how truly rare and precious our environment here really is. Having spent a few hundred nights under the stars, gathering information, learning about the galaxy, looking through telescopes, taking night photos, and spending time with people, documenting evidence to prove that we are a world-class dark sky. Now I was in love with the stars and the planets and this island, the many colors of the night sky, the joy of being able to travel safely about in the sacred places here to experience awe. I saw thousands of stars every time and wondrous sights in the night, and my pages are mixed up, so bear with me, don't have any cuffs. Suddenly, health issues took me to upstate New York, behind a bus garage, with a lot of lights on a bus garage, and a football field, high school football field with a giant television screen. When I could see Orion among 20 or 30 other stars, there was a strip mall in a large city. Below Pleiades freeway. On a good night, I could only count about 50 stars and only see the Big Dipper, Cassiopeia, but never, ever in upstate New York did I see the Milky Way. By the way, in New York, they charge you a $60 visitor pass to go look at the stars. Truth. But anyway, I was depressed already, but I cried. Knowing what I know about light pollution affecting human health, I cried to think I might never see these dark skies of Beaver Island again. And that is why it is so important to me and to all of us that we take on this mission to educate and create awareness about dark sky preservation. And that is why we are here tonight. We come here tonight to celebrate and dedicate our Dark Sky International designation as an official international dark sky sanctuary. We hope to communicate the importance of dark sky preservation and with speakers and guests from across the state inform you that there's a few others in the world that also support Beaver Island dark sky preservation. This is a long name. I'll try to say it as little as possible and as much as possible. Beaver Island State Wildlife Research Area, International Dark Sky Sanctuary, is one of only 22 dark sky sanctuaries in the world. In fact, we are number 20. Having been bestowed the title April 8th, 2024, to us, the Michigan DNR, and Central Michigan University. Among over 200 dark sky places in the entire world, we stand as sanctuary amidst smaller and greater protected areas like urban dark sky communities, dark sky parks, one dark sky tribal nation, dark sky preserves, and other sanctuaries. Only 9 such sanctuaries are in the United States, only 9. In the darkest places in the world as measured by dark sky quality. That is the deepest level of darkness measured on 2 scales. One is the Bortle scale. That's registered from 1 to 9, with 9 being the most light polluted. Upstate New York is a 5. And we're class 2. And we gaze into class 1 skies over High Island on the western shores. Quality is also measured by William Markey
on a sky quality meter from 1 to 22. With 22 the most dark and least light polluted, we average a 21.6. There you go. So gratifying to have a room full of people. You know, it's easier with 3, but a room full of people. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So next, our sanctuary designation is based upon our isolated geographic location and the level of protections that this state, county, and community have placed to keep this area safe from overdevelopment and a number of other environmental threats to water, plants, lands, birds, animals, and humans. 100 years of protections. A lot of work was done before we ever got here and paved our way. We will have many thanks to give to the multiple individuals, groups, and agencies that place these protections through preservation and conservation over these lands. Because the next qualifier for sanctuary relies on the level of support provided by those group efforts. We stand as sanctuary also because we pledge to educate people and create awareness about the dangers of light pollution and how to protect dark skies. And we pledge to continue to record and document these conditions in our area and work to prevent threats to dark skies around us. We stand as sanctuary because we worked over 4 years to establish our dark sky place. But the work has only begun, for now we are charged with the responsibility to inform the world about what we have done and what we are doing to keep our dark skies and fight light pollution. The designation of sanctuary from Dark Sky International was followed by a media blast to the world that Beaver State Wildlife Research Area was one of the darkest places in the world. The first step to creating awareness was completed after only 4 years, and that is a huge accomplishment just all by itself to be able to tell the world. We are sanctuary for darkness and our beautiful view to the galaxy. This is why we are here tonight. This is why we began the process to fight against light pollution that is spreading swiftly across the universe, from glaring and excessive outdoor lighting to street lights and parking lot lights and satellites. Light pollution has now blotted out the stars and true darkness over most of Europe and the eastern United States. In fact, 83% of the world will never see the Milky Way. How many have seen the Milky Way here? Yeah. Wait a minute, that's all the hands? Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, you're the elite. I assure you. 83% of the world will never see the Milky Way. And your grandchildren may never see these pristine dark skies and stars at all. This is for you, Diane and Tracy. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. We don't even know where you are. I am happy to welcome you, then, the very few among the world people that are at a place where you can go out tonight and experience true darkness with zero light pollution. We have established over 9,000 acres completely free from electricity and light. This is a research area, a section of state land already set aside as a wildlife research area and protected by the DNR. An additional 230 acres are protected by Central Michigan University at Miller's Marsh, and we are part of the Octwang biosphere as well. We watch over the ecosystems in the world. And those lands remain virtually unchanged for public use and under the existing policies and regulations previously set down by the DNR and CMU. In addition, with the collaboration and efforts of the Little Traverse Conservancy and their preservation of natural resources, we can offer you 8 other locations in the buffer zone. There's a map right out there with excellent dark sky experiences. Combined with numerous other townships, county, and private trust lands, the island is an ideal place to enjoy some quiet stargazing, light pollution free. You know, someday we hope to be recognized as a dark sky island, and maybe even a dark sky archipelago. How about that? It's a little bit of an uphill battle. We are making progress, and here's some good news. Our library has friendly lighting that turns off after 10 p.m. Our homeowners have converted their outdoor lighting, and we're working towards some policies that would improve lighting conditions even more in the community. You know, reducing light pollution saves energy. When did our parents stop telling us, hey, turn off the light, it costs money? When did that happen, really? Any new generation in the room that never heard that from their parents? In my house, it was like, turn off the light, dummy. So reducing light pollution saves energy, and that saves money. Cutting light pollution reduces carbon emissions, and that saves the environment. Using light responsibly helps stop the current damaging effects of light pollution on the reproductive cycles of insects, plants, fish, animals, birds, mammals. Is it optimistic to think that by preserving the dark skies, we might save some of the environment in the world? Let me ask you this. We've seen a lot of natural resources depleted and being destroyed every day. If light pollution has been proven to harm all of these living things and their reproductive mating processes, what's it doing to us? What's it doing to us humans? Oh gosh, consider this too. If light pollution were a natural resource, we would have killed it already. Because that's what humans do. Not you guys. I make these strong statements even to create awareness about the dangers of light pollution and to help preserve dark skies. That is why we begin the fight to stand as sanctuary. Because we are an international sanctuary, the eyes of the world are upon us now. We need to show them why and how we did it, and how more areas can become light pollution free and save a darkness that is proven to be beneficial to human health. So, what are we and other agents of change doing to fight light pollution? Dark Sky International formed in 1988 and now continues as a world organization, creating awareness about light pollution and dark sky preservation. Dark Sky International oversees those over 200 dark sky places. They're required to measure, improve it, and educate others about dark sky preservation and move to install lighting changes for changes in current lighting policies that waste energy. Dark Sky International granted our dark sky area as a sanctuary because we proved we are protected land, and we pledge to hold events like this and spread awareness about dark sky preservation. Because we are an isolated geographical area, somewhat inaccessible, thank goodness, we are unable to hold large events with large attendance to accomplish this goal. Yet our very existence, our darkness level, and our presence creates awareness. The fact that there are only 22 such places like this in the entire world stands alone as an astounding fact. Just only 22. And that lets the entire world know, the universe, that dark skies are rare and precious and disappearing swiftly. We do spread that word via news articles, social media outlets, online and in-person events, and by collaboration with other agencies, businesses, and organizations. We also happen to be lucky enough, as Kevin mentioned, to have a local radio station dedicated to broadcasting this information via dark sky programming, announcements, and a dark sky event community calendar. And our community has joined us to hold dark sky events, advertise their businesses as dark sky friendly, and offer products to create awareness about dark sky. Our committee has held dozens of dark sky events with telescopes and binoculars from David Clark, William Markey, and Tony Miller. Tony is a visiting astronomer who showed up one night with telescopes on loan from the Columbus Astronomical Society in Ohio, and has personally promoted dark skies with these beautiful scopes. And by communicating with individuals and groups, we surely could have done this without Tony Miller holding all of these events, which I know some of you have been to. Our Dark Sky Committee members and Beaver Island Association members have all contributed to the efforts to just talk to people about dark skies one at a time. So here we are tonight, And instead of just Bill and I, or a handful of people, we have an auditorium full. And the good news continues. Not only are we fighting light pollution, but dark skies and celestial objects are beautiful, awe-inspiring, peaceful, and quiet. So much so that astrotourism is growing very quickly and generating tourist dollars across the world. Even here on tiny Beaver Island, a protected place where people have come for our natural beauty, becoming known as the Dark Sky Place, has created a small wave of dark sky tourists, people that even bought houses here because it was dark. Also good news, there's a lot of programs available out there, funding for communities and homeowners and rebates that want to install dark sky friendly energy saving lighting. Tucson, Arizona saves $2 million a year. Think about it. In summary, we have many good reasons to preserve our dark skies and prevent light pollution from taking them away. And these are the reasons why we stand as Sanctuary: to preserve dark skies, prevent light pollution, save energy and money, and to educate and create awareness about the value of preserving dark skies. And tonight, to offer you this spectacular protected area where you can lay back, relax, enjoy a magnificent sky full of stars. Tonight's skies out there, Ken Walczak brought in Chicago skies. That's what it looks like when all the stars are gone. Cloudy, gray. So, Michigan was the first state in the nation to pass legislation to establish 6 dark sky preserves starting back in 1972. Michigan is now the first state in the nation to have 3 international dark sky parks and a sanctuary. I'm happy to say we have here tonight representatives from other dark sky parks and local chapters of Dark Sky International to tell us a bit about who they are and what they do to promote dark sky preservation. 2011, Headlands International Dark Sky Park rocked the news media as they became designated by installing all dark sky friendly lighting. Emmett County's got some serious lighting ordinances. And they offered a dark sky place that entertained over 60,000 visitors in the first years. They continue to provide events and dark sky programming to create awareness about dark sky preservation. And Jaimie Westfall is the park manager for the Headlands International Dark Sky Park and 2 other Emmett County parks in Mackinac City. She's got about 20 years of experience. She's worked in various roles across public and private sectors. She's a certified parks and recreation professional. And she's a very passionate advocate for dark sky conversation, and conservation. And please welcome Jaimie Westfall.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try this thing. I had this clever idea that I would use my phone for notes tonight. So when you see me, I'm not just being very rude. I'm reading off my phone. But not yet. So first I just have some slides. My name is Jaimie Westfall, Park Manager at Headlands International Dark Sky Park. I'm a park manager for Emmett County, just as Cynthia said, and I oversee 2 other parks that are not dark sky parks. I actually oversee a lighthouse too, so I'm not sure. But I'm a good person. and I really do love dark skies. So I'm really happy to be here tonight and doing this, and I have a serious case of imposter syndrome standing here before all of you people in this setting, because I'm not an astronomer. I have no experience in anything related to the sky. I can find the Big Dipper. I've been doing this at the Dark Sky Park. I've been working at the Dark Sky Park listening to programs. This is my 4th summer now doing this role. And I don't think I'll ever get there. But I do love dark skies, and you don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be you don't have to know astronomy, you don't have to know your constellations, you don't have to know what the ancient people did with the stars. That's all wonderful, I'm glad that you do. But you just have to feel that feeling, and like, it is awe-inspiring seeing the night sky and how big it is, and so you don't need to be a rocket surgeon. But on that note, I want to tell you about this facility that we have. Heavens, we have an event space. There's a picture of our event space, and we do weddings. We have the dark sky viewing area outside is lit with these red lights, which is a little eerie to come upon, but it helps people see where they're walking and not hurt themselves and get around so that they can enjoy the stars without ruining their night vision entirely. So we have a lot of red lights all throughout our viewing area. We have over 500 acres, but the viewing area just takes up a couple of acres right there, and that's where most people gather at night. And we have an astronomer on staff in the summer. We have an observatory you can see in the image there, and he operates the observatory along with a few other volunteers. Weddings, events, programs, and all of the things that come with being a dark sky park. Next slide. Do I have to? Do I? Oh, I have the controller. Next slide. So this is just some more pictures of programs and volunteers, advocacy initiatives that we do each year as a requirement for our designation. Weddings. We have a guest house. We have rental houses on site that look over the beautiful Beaver Island skies. And we have 3 rental houses between Headlands and McAuliffe Point. We have Visitor Information Center. The gals give out information relating to, like, what is the moon going to be doing tonight, or what's the moon phase, when is the moon set? Is there going to be northern lights? Is actually the biggest question that we get 1,000 times a day. So there's a picture of our signage, and when people come up to the park, they see that sign, and we give out red film in our visitor center so that they can cover the light on their cell phone and things like that, just kind of educating people about courtesy in the viewing area. Trails, beyond the dark sky, it's a gorgeous park. It's simply a stunning piece of shoreline, and that the county was able to acquire it is phenomenal. And so in the wintertime, we bring those trails for skiing. They're probably my favorite trails, and I'm not just saying that. They're beautiful. So there's almost 7 miles of trails to explore there, and they're great. We have a good Facebook following where we can advocate and spread awareness for our cause and our events. And we take measurements. We are a dark sky park, and there are requirements as such. We have reporting to Dark Sky International, and so we use a sky quality meter to take measurements from different locations throughout our site, and we report them in our annual report. And our numbers are not as impressive, but they are very good. So, what does that say in 2022 and 21? I haven't updated these slides in a bit, but yeah, that's still about accurate. Lighting compliance, we try to stay within the guidelines set forth by Dark Sky International. And so this is a map of our lights that we have in the viewing area. And they're all red filtered. That's our own thing for the viewing area. But they aim downward. This is something anybody can do at home. They can shield their lights so that they face down there. And they face very specifically on the thing that we want to light. So the sidewalk, so people can see. Those lights, they only have light coming out from one side, and they're louvered to aim the light down. Oh, yeah, so there's the louvers you can see. And that's the backyard. I guess you call it the back, where people lay out in blankets on the lawn. That's Andrew. He's up in the dome taking some images in the observatory, and somebody cut a picture of him out on the platform. He's our college-aged astronomer. He goes to Central Michigan University. He's been there the same exact amount of time as me, season-wise. He started the same year as me. And it's been really fun watching him grow and learn how to use this equipment. It didn't work when we got there, so we had astronomers come in from different areas and help us Andrew, learning from scratch, and it's been really fun to see improvement. The images I have here are old. He's grown leaps and bounds, but he was just trying to learn how to use it. You can see we had some challenges with lighting in our dome, with making the red glow, different things, but he shoots the images up there. We got a few other people trained now too, and so we are able to put these images out for the public. People join for watching the sunset. There may or may not, I think there actually was a presentation on that night. This was years back, but yeah, you'll get a crowd like that, and it looks like they're waiting for something to happen. There's no show. the show is nature, and the sunset, and then the stars. And so they just come and hang. And they really do come and hang. And if you want to talk about impacts of designation, we have a football field size parking lot now with hundreds of parking spaces. And this is very brand new. This image was just taken Thursday. So you can see our new parking lot that just opened. We had some issues before, really bad parking issues, and so this is the solution, to get more people down so they can see and learn about the dark skies. They were walking a mile in our entry road from the neighboring park, and it's very dangerous. And Cynthia mentioned I have a couple other sites I oversee, Cecil Bay and McAlpin Point. I just wanted to show you pictures. I'll talk about them in my speech. But Cecil Bay is over 800 acres and McAlpin Point is about 13 acres. Both the lighthouse we have open for tours to the public, and it's open May through October, and the grounds are open year-round. Very beautiful places. So this is the map. This is a map that shows, I'm going to be talking about it, but I just wanted to kind of give you a geographic reference where we are compared to where you are. I think that's pretty important. We're pretty much at the same latitude, more or less, and we look at each other. So out over that water. So growing up, I grew up in this area my whole life, minus a few years where I wasn't growing up and moved around. But I was born in Carp Lake, that was a lake there, and I worked, my first job was out at Wilderness State Park. I worked out there for, well, my first park job was 16 when I got that job, and I worked there for 5 summers, and then I worked on Mackinac Island and Wilderness. I have such a, I hold that's like my favorite place in the world, so near and dear because I really spent all of my childhood time there. And when I worked there, I would just stay there after and go hiking and go to the beach, and like I never went home for many years. So it is home to me. So I have my speech now, and I'll probably just stop talking and start reading. I'm not a good public speaker, so I'll just be staring at my phone, but I'm just going to read. It's a true honor to be here on Beaver Island with all of you, our offshore neighbors, about 33 miles due west of Headlands, on this momentous occasion as we celebrate the official designation of this awesome place as a dark sky sanctuary. Ordinarily, you and I are separated by an expanse of crystal clear water and dark skies, but tonight we are united here, brought together by our mission to preserve the sanctity of our shared space on this planet we love, possibly the space we love more than ourselves. Sanctity. Let's think about the meaning of that word for a moment. Defined as the quality of being sacred, sanctuary, a holy place, a place of worship, a place of refuge, a place of rest, a safe place. When I need to center myself, this is where I go. And I talked about wilderness and that little stretch of land, just between Wilderness, between Walczak's Point there across village, it's called Sturgeon Bay. I live, basically, I'm a homeless person living out there because I spend so much time there. I love it so much, and that is my sanctuary for any of life's problems, or just if I want to be happy. It's my sanctuary. When I've moved thousands of miles away, this is my sanctuary. So when you feel homesick, that's my place, and it looks right out over your place. So, your sanctuary. So in 2012, Michigan legislature passed HB 5414, the Dark Sky Coast Bill, which protected the night sky over nearly 23,000 contiguous acres of state park and state forest land, primarily in Emmett County. So that area of Sturgeon Bay, all of Wilderness Park, which goes down there from Cross Village pretty near, all up Wabashant's Point, and you see Cecil Bay, the 800-acre park there. It's mostly wetlands, and then headlands, of course, and McGulpin Point, and then there's French Farm, which is in the corner there. That's over 2,000 acres of land, state land. So there's a good amount of dark skies in that area too. Your sanctuary and mine share the same dark sky. My most profound night sky experiences have been here in these places. And I can share them with you, but maybe later. There are a lot of stories. I figured if I'd run out of time, I'd just stand here and tell you stories. But yeah, they're really special places for me. Tonight, we are recognizing this shared skyscape, but also our shared commitment to protecting one of the most precious and overlooked aspects of our environment, the night sky. In a world increasingly illuminated by artificial light, special places like our home here became even more vital. They offer us a glimpse into the natural world as it existed for eons, untouched by the glow of modern development, until about 1879, when Thomas Edison came around and invented the light bulb. But before that, they remind us of our place in the vast universe, minute and seemingly insignificant, yet connected to the world around us. The Dark Sky Sanctuary designation for Beaver Island State Wildlife Research Area is not just a measure of dark skies here on the island, it's a measure of years of hard work and cooperation and dedication of many individuals, organizations, and community members. It's evidence of a collective determination to preserve the night for future generations. The rigorous process of achieving this certification through Dark Sky to achieve this designation was not easy for them, I'm sure. It required meticulous planning, careful implementation of lighting policies, and a shared vision in this island, which I'm sure was difficult. A shared vision to reduce light pollution, ensuring the stars can shine as brightly as they do tonight. But the significance of the designation goes beyond the recognition. It serves a powerful reminder of the critical need to protect our natural environment both day and night. The darkness we experience here is not just a beautiful backdrop, it's an essential part of our ecosystems. Many species rely on natural darkness for survival, and we know this, we've already talked about this. It's an essential part of our peace, our sanctity. It's our refuge from the chaos, a safe place to escape and learn about interactions with others in the most unique, in an undisrupted pace. We come together here as neighbors, as conservationists, as stewards of the night, with a shared commitment to safeguard the sanctuary, not for ourselves, but for those who come after us, our children and grandchildren, and every generation beyond us, so that they can have the opportunity and experience the awe and wonder that we feel here on this special island. Congratulations to our friends and our neighbors on this grand achievement. I hope you find all the joy in the responsibilities and opportunities your designation brings. And the most important thing, I would like to present Robyn Porteen, Chapter President of Dark Sky, Michigan.
Everybody. Pass this microphone. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Get my first slide. Okay, so I'm Robyn Porteen. I'm the founder of the chapter, the official chapter in Michigan for Dark Sky International. We're called Dark Sky Michigan. First off, we want to congratulate from the Dark Sky Michigan chapter, Beaver Island Dark Sky Sanctuary. We're really proud to have you, one of 20 in sanctuaries in the world right here in Michigan. That's just wonderful, all of the places that we're getting, but we're very proud to have the sanctuary here. Okay, so a little bit about me before I go into what the chapter does and what we are working on currently in Michigan. I grew up in rural, middle, lower peninsula Michigan on a farm. We had the night sky all the time. My grandfather took me out and showed me the constellations. I just grew up with the Milky Way, with the Big Dipper. This was all 30 miles north of Grand Rapids, and it was still very, very dark there. And there are many reasons why we need to preserve the night sky. We all have our own reasons. The passion that I hold for preserving our night sky is we're losing our history, our culture, our connection with our universe. Think of the art, music, literature, cultural stories, navigation, science, and calendars that have come from viewing the night sky. I've been a delegate to the International Dark Sky Association, Dark Sky International, since 2019. I'm a member of the American Astronomy Society, co-founder of Women in Astrophotography, which is a group worldwide of women that have gotten together and shared their work. And I'm a local member of my local astronomy club, and I do own a leather bag company. So that's, and I'm always out, chasing the aurora, chasing the moon. Get my telescope out there. I love to do time-lapse photography, just leave my camera sitting out all night to watch, the planet turn. Okay. The controller's not working. It's glowing blue.
While we're waiting, tell us about 14 Gear.
Well, that's my living. I do custom leather bags. I started out as a camera bag company, and I do custom, even night sky designs on rivets and mountains and using recycled leather. But that's my living. That's my passion, is preserving the night sky. Get the slide going.
Do you dye your leather?
No, I get some beautiful colors from the furniture business. I keep the hides from going into the landfill, so I like to recycle.
Anybody have a triple A?
The blue lights.
Can you get the slide? No? Oh, that worked?
I set off the spot, but I'd rather have beautiful vision. So these are just a couple of tidbits that I like to say when I'm doing a presentation, and Cynthia's already covered it. It's over 80% of the population of the world has never seen the Milky Way due to artificial lights at night. And in the past, Vincent van Gogh painted his famous Starry Night in Saint Remy, France in 1889. The Milky Way can no longer be seen from there. So he would have never had that inspiration now if he was born in this era to have painted that. And that's my passion, is the art and the history. Okay, so the Michigan Dark Sky Chapter was founded in October 2022. I've been 1 and 2 delegates in Michigan since 2019. I was making a lot of connections as I traveled the state. My husband and I love to camp in the UP. My family comes from working with conservation groups. And I noticed there were a lot of people working on night skies, working on lighting, working on helping wildlife migrations that nobody knew about anybody else. And so I stepped up when I realized that there were many groups and projects concerned about light pollution in Michigan, and I started the chapter as a place to network and bring everybody together. So we're a member of Starry Skies North, which is a compilation of chapters in the Midwest. So we have the expertise and the draw from some of those chapters. We're part of the global network of dark sky chapters, which means that we can reach out to any other chapter around the country if we have lighting issues in our state, situations we might not have experience addressing. So we have that. For example, we sat down with a ski resort. We had neighbors that could see the lighting from 5 miles away in their living room during winter when you get the snow bounce and the lighting. So we were able to pull in some dark sky delegates out of Colorado and a lighting company that could come to the table and maybe help with their issues that they had with their lighting. They're getting ready to buy all new lighting, so it's a really good time to sit down and talk with them. We work with communities, parks, municipalities, and the public to certify and protect dark places for humans and wildlife alike. And I'm not getting my next slide again. Okay, there we go. So these are just some of the things we do. We're a general resource for all dark sky conservationists and projects in the state. We help educate businesses and the general public on lighting solutions. We speak at events across the state to educate the general public on the effects of light pollution. We can help guide you through your process to become a dark sky place or park. We're just the local Dark Sky International, so we can draw on that, and we've got a really important board member that does help with that, and I'll go over that in a minute. We work with local and state governments to recognize the importance of keeping our skies dark. And we help townships develop lighting ordinances. And we're a fairly new chapter, so we're just digging in right now, and we're starting to gain recognition. So, who we are. Well, I think I already said who we are. These are our members, partners, people we collaborate with. We've got lighting companies, meeting with new businesses all the time. But our board of directors that helps guide us through some of these processes, they have a lot of expertise in night skies. We've got a board member from the Keweenaw Peninsula, the Ann Arbor area, West Michigan. We've got a university observatory director from EMU, an award-winning science teacher who has led studies on light pollution. She's gained recognition from Dark Sky International with elementary students. We have a conservation district director in West Michigan, and a small observatory owner, and a couple of us with just a straight-up passion for night skies. And we have volunteers around the state who help with our newsletter, setting up tables at events. We've got a list of speakers that's slowly growing. And one of our cherished board members is Robert Parrish. He is a longtime delegate at Dark Sky International who has helped get legislation passed for declarations in our state. He works closely with places that are working on dark sky status and is involved with many groups around the state. He founded and runs the Markey International Dark Sky in Southwest Michigan. So I talked him into being on our board, and he is truly an asset for us. Okay, so why do we have the chapter? And I think Cynthia covered a lot of this already, the wildlife, the ecosystems, and affects human health. Light pollution is why we started the chapter. Energy and climate change, crime and safety, and our night sky heritage. So preserving our night skies is now becoming critical. There are some big cities where they have the skyscrapers turned on at night. They actually hire people full-time to clean the dead birds up off the sidewalks before the morning commute for all the birds that hit the buildings on their migrations. So it's becoming critical. and again, these are some of the groups that we work with and we sit around the table with. I do have one that was really interesting. There's a fibromyalgia pain group. It's nationwide. And they reached out to me to talk to their group about the effects of nature and health. And a lot of these women have, some have been bedridden for a long time, some of them don't come out of their homes, they're just in pain. And so I started on this. I really had to, I thought, come up with a good reason for them to get out at night. They were all started, it was a Zoom meeting, so a lot of them were kind of laying back in their bed, and everybody looked very mellow and melancholy. We started talking about the effects of the night sky, and the memories they had, and they all started kind of talking about, well, yeah, I remember seeing the constellations. I had a family member that used to share that with me. My memories as kids camping and seeing the night sky. I didn't have to even go halfway past maybe 30 minutes. They were all talking amongst themselves, and you get to see them light up and with their memories. So I gave them ideas on how they could get out and see the night sky. Some of them could only get out on their decks. I gave them the idea, if they were in a safe place, try sleeping in your backyard. You know, sleep under the stars. So it turned out really well, and the group reached out to me a month later, said they were still talking about all the times they'd gotten out to see the night sky since we had that. So that was a really good meeting. We get citizens who are having issues with their townships or neighbors. We can help them approach their neighbors, help them talk with their townships. So basically, we do a lot of educating as well. Okay, and then just a little blurb on Michigan. You know, we're becoming popular for night sky viewing, which is wonderful. You know, we have the preserves now. We have 4 dark sky international designated places. Since COVID, there's been an increased interest in the night sky. Telescope sales, telescopes sold out. Many families went in their backyards and they couldn't go on vacations and just study the stars. Observatories were crowded. There's a lot of dark sky vacations, designated dark sky area vacations. Astrotourism is just taking off. When I camp in the Keweenaw, it's amazing just in the state campground how many people are there just because of that new dark sky park on the Keweenaw Peninsula. And then there's industries that benefit too. You've got tourism and hospitality, lodging and camping, education and outreach, media and publishing, outdoor recreational gear. There's a lot of industries in Michigan that benefit from having the night sky and the dark sky places. So, you know, this is a Dark Sky International, just to touch on a lot of what's going on a global level. Dark Sky International proudly endorses the Dark and Quiet Skies Act. It's a bipartisan bill that's come out. Let's see. It's reaching across the political spectrum of the need to address the rapid expansion of satellites. Not only do we have light pollution, we have a lot of satellites coming up in the sky. So, you know, we've got our eye on that too. There are 9,000 satellites currently in the sky. They're projected to be 500,000 by 2030. I don't know how many of you looked up and just thought the stars were moving, and it's going to get a lot worse. So there's an urgency for proactive measures that become paramount. I was able to sit in with SATCON a couple of years ago, and satellite operators. It's a group where they get to talk and connect, and they were complaining about not knowing what other countries were doing, no air traffic control, no way to monitor that. So I'm glad it's finally being noticed. But we have programs too, like Glow at Night's not Dark Sky International's program, but it's a good one. It's a good one for citizens. If you're in the urban area or out in a place like Beaver Island, you can actually take measurements and record things on your own computer or phone and be part of a global network of citizen scientists that are collecting data for night skies. And then there's the Dark Sky International certifications. It seems like they're adding more. You know, we've got the lodging program that's still being ironed out. So maybe Dark Sky Island will be on there if you wanted, Cynthia. But it's gaining momentum and it's gaining recognition, the effort to get our night skies back or keep them. So the natural night sky is our common and universal heritage, yet it's rapidly becoming unknown to the newest generations. The history of scientific discovery and even human curiosity itself is indebted to the natural night sky. Experiencing the night sky provides perspective, inspiration, and leads us to reflect on our humanity and place in the universe. And that was my final thought, so thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't introduce Ken.
So our next speaker on the program was Robert Parrish. Robert couldn't be here tonight because of some health issues, but he did send along these remarks, and I've been asked to read them. As Robyn said, Robert is a delegate to Dark Sky International. He's the president of the Cass County Parks and Recreation Commission, and he basically helped found and helps run the Dr. Lawless International Dark Sky Park in Michigan, Dark Sky Preserve downstate. So these are the remarks that he sent and asked us to share with you. Today we gather to celebrate an extraordinary achievement, the recognition of the State Wildlife Research Area on Beaver Island as an official dark sky sanctuary. Now this isn't just any title, it's not like winning a raffle or getting a participation trophy. It's something truly special, an honor that reflects years of hard work, collaboration, and a level of perseverance that most of us only reserve for finding our phones in the couch cushions. Robert has a sense of. By the way, if you lost your phone, there's one of the purple case outside. Seriously. We know Beaver Island's beauty is undeniable. From the rich landscapes to the sparkling waters, it's a place that captures hearts. But what's truly remarkable is that the island's beauty doesn't end with the setting sun. As the night falls, a new kind of magic awakens.